It's good to see you here, and I really heard you talking today at Lahore Chamber of Commerce and Industry regarding lifestyle modification. So, would you briefly tell us about your efforts, what you are doing word over regarding this campaign of lifestyle modification?
Yes, so thank you very much for having this opportunity really to share what has become a new movement worldwide. And the reason that lifestyle medicine has become such a huge issue is because internationally currently there's a pandemic of non-communicable disease, which is really the chronic diseases. And there are so many countries like Pakistan which are now struggling under the double burden of infectious disease, and at the same time, as more wealth is coming, then also with it comes more diabetes, more heart disease, more bad diet, more cancer. And to face this new impact of disease, physicians, clinicians, and community members, really everybody who has health and who has family needs lifestyle medicine. So the movement, which started in several different countries around the world, some of the oldest lifestyle medicine associations include the United States and Australasia, and now we have 38 countries. Now each country there is a group of clinicians, physicians, and allied health professionals who are passionate about changing diet, changing sleep, changing stress management, and looking at happiness, at joy, and at wellness to be able to create an environment of health and thriving.
This is really good. So we can hope that once people come to know more about it and they start practicing it, we'll be having happy people around.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I think that there is a great chance, and there is no other way really than to take control of your own health. And speaking to anybody who happens to be listening at this time, really it is up to each one of us to look after ourselves and our families through good nutrition. And when you know that you can doing that and you're eating for your heart and your health and your family, then there's no choice but to be happy.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much to be with us here. And we look forward to hear more from you. I think you will be attending the conference and, you'll be talking more about it.
Yes, we're looking forward to being part of Dr. Shagufta Feroz's conference. And there is the Lifestyle Medicine Global Alliance, which is the group of international doctors. And you can also look up our website at any time. Thank you very much
Thank
for
you
this
very much.
opportunity.
Pleasure to be with you. Thank you.
Great.
Well, Dr. Hans, thank you very much. It was really pleasure hearing you today at Lahore Chamber of Commerce and Industry. You really talked very practical things. So I've heard that you are the most enthusiastic person talking on this subject. So what briefly you would like to give advices to a common man in Pakistan for him, what is lifestyle modification?
Well, it has been my life for the last 40 years to create this new understanding that we can do more for ourselves than all the doctors with their medications and their procedures. When it comes to these chronic diseases, chronic diseases are diseases that are hanging around. You cannot stop them with medication. You cannot stop heart disease with surgery. You do not stop high blood pressure with taking pills. You take these pills until you die. When you are diabetic, you don't cure diabetes with insulin or with some pill. You just sort of manage the disease and the symptoms. But if you really become involved as a patient, you become the CEO of your own health. Then what you begin to understand is that I need to begin to focus on what can I change so that the body begins to heal itself. And that means I have to focus on simple foods as grown. Okay.
Natural.
Yeah.
Just natural.
It's not all the
not processed one, what we are eating these days.
Yeah, instead of potato chips, we should perhaps go back to potatoes. Instead of eating all these meats, maybe we should eat more of the beans and lentils, the dal. See, fruits and vegetables. These are the foods where you have maximum nutritional value. There are probably over 100,000 special micronutrients in these foods, and they're almost all found in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and legumes. They're not found in milk or in eggs or in meats. You know, they have their place too in some ways, but I think they always come burdened with cholesterol and saturated fat, all these things that we know are not in our best interest. So I think what I would like to recommend to people, begin to discover your own native foods again that you used to have here 40, 50, 60 years ago, before the American foods came in, you know, the high-tech foods.
But we are taught by the doctors that we need to have a balanced diet, everything,
Yeah.
a portion of everything.
Yeah, balanced diet doesn't mean anything. It's just a catch-all. When we talk about balanced diet, the way I understand it, then we need to eat lots of fruits, and lots of vegetables, and lots of grains, and lots of legumes, these kind of things. This is balancing things off, not just to think, well, I'm just going to live on fruits. There are fruitarians in the world that think that all they have to do is eat fruits. Or you have people that are just focusing on vegetables, and they leave out the bread, the grains, you see. So that's what I mean by balanced food, is to eat all you can of the foods that a master designer provided for us, that nature provided for us. And then you couple it with some exercise every day. Take your 10,000 steps. Get into the gym 2-3 times a week. Do some weightlifting, some of these kind of things to stay pliable and flexible. Yeah? And, then also become a nicer person. Listen when people talk. Look at them.
This is another thing which we are lacking, We are impatient, we don't listen, and we are irritable, and, we are hyperactive at times.
Yeah.
Does food help into these conditions?
Food?
Yeah.
I think if you are following a good nutritional program, your mental fog begins to lift because you get more nutrients to the brain through the arteries and so on. So there's something there. You're probably easier to live with because you're sort of I think in some ways, a more satisfied person, right? Instead of grabbing some food quickly and wolfing it down. You don't really sit down to eat anymore and have some enjoyment with friends or loved ones. You just sit in your car and you grab it from some, these...
It sounds very interesting. To me, it looks like, we should go back to the lives of our parents and grandparents,
Well, in a
this
way...
Is how,
well, yeah. Somebody said... if you look at the ingredients on these processed foods, and if grandma doesn't understand the words, maybe you shouldn't eat them.
yeah, exactly.
So, because when you eat foods as they used to come to us, they're usually balanced. Nature has found a way to balance these things quite well. And they're inexpensive. And but, we have shifted from slow food to fast food. We have shifted from eating at home to shifting out. We used to drink water, now we drink soda pop.
Yep.
I talked about that today at the chamber here. We used to eat potatoes, and now we eat potato chips. We used to eat corn, now we eat corn chip. And when you have potato chips, that's 63% fat.
Yep.
When you eat a potato, it's only 3% fat. So whenever you have a lot of fat in the diet, it has a deleterious effect on the body. It also promotes obesity. As you know, fat is very, very rich in energy. By that I mean calories.
Yep.
So you have to be very careful with that. And then you have the sugar. There's no nutrition value to sugar, and yet most people consume 30 teaspoons of sugar a day. See, it's empty calories.
Thank you very much for sharing your ideas with us. And, these are very practical. And if we can get rid of load of disease by just following the simple pattern and changing little bit changes into our food and lifestyle, this can be really useful. And we look forward to hear